the fullback with the first and goal. Kuhn gets the ball. Pyle driving his way in for the touchdown. What a great second effort.
Here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the. Y'all don't really want it like that. I said so. I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful.
What is going on, Wolfpack? It's your boy, the Wolf of Roto Street, rotostreetjournal.com. We breed and feed you fantasy wolves. We are now in week 13, pretty much a playoff matchup for so many of us. Win and go in, lose and go home. So we're already essentially in the fantasy playoffs, but most of us, they start next week officially. Some of us are looking to fight for buys. Some of us are all clinched up. Awesome. And some of us just don't want last place. Either way, you need to get those lineups perfect. You need to get everything all set. And the margin for error continues to get smaller and smaller by the week. Welcome on into your fantasy tailgate. We'll answer every single sit start you get. We're going to cover all your actives and inactives, all that good stuff that you need to know in order to win in week 13, Wolfpack. So thank you so much for tuning in. We're so thrilled to have you. I, of course, am joined by my man, CJay. How we doing, Chris?
Not bad. I'm in that ladder where I'm trying to get out of last place. My biggest thing.
It's been a rough year for you in fantasy. I feel like you've been getting smoked.
It hasn't been a good year. There is one thing that I'm not seeing us on Periscope.
There was an error for going live, and I think it is just live now. It kept saying error, not live, and then it just checked off we're live. So double check if we are there, if you don't mind. I'll get us started on the news. Let me know if we are. Are we good to go? Did you see us on there?
Yeah, we're good. I was going to hit us a retweet.
We are now live everywhere. And so, Wolfpack, as we dive into the news, as you guys know, I try to make it record speed. Got to hit you with everything just in case it helps your sit starts, which we already have 20 of them. Keep them coming. Let's break that 200 question record. Let's break the 30 likes record. And on that note, if you don't mind giving this a thumbs up, a heart just came in, the full heart. Love that. Shocked faces, happy faces, whatever you want to give us, we will take it. So appreciate it to help us get out to more people, answer more questions. Of course, shares, retweets, dropping in any groups you're in, all that good stuff helps so much. And next week, we will start collecting testimonials. We don't really like to do that until the playoffs, because if we don't get you to the playoffs, we don't want your we don't deserve your testimonial. Yeah. But if we get you in there, and so very often, I mean, you guys keep coming back, the regulars, we love you guys so much, typically because we can get you there. I do think we have some of the best content out there, and the best way to help us is a testimonial. This offseason, we're interested in doing some pitches, things of that nature, and having the words from you guys means so much. So if you would like to give us a testimonial, feel free to DM us. We'll post those information next week. But again, we wait till week 14 because we don't deserve a testimonial if we can't get you to the playoffs. But thanks again so much, Wolfpack. Let's rip through some of this news. I want to start at the top with the news that kept us a little delayed, and sorry to be late today. But this kind of popped up right around 11, right as I was about to go live. Tua is going to be starting, and that has big implications all around. One, because Tua sucks. So you're not going to be starting him. Fitzmagic goes from, a nice top 12
I had Parker in a lot of DFS lineups today right away. Awful.
No reason to start him. I mean, it could be okay because since he is so bad, I don't want to say don't use Parker, but he goes from my wide receiver 14, 15, almost a top 10 play to now wide receiver 22, 23, below Brandon Cooks, below some other guys. So I'm not interested, especially in DFS where you have all these choices. Season long, he could still be in your lineups. Let us know if you have Parker questions. I know we got a ton of them last week. He panned out because we had Fitzmagic, but that bath of targets, I think he saw 14 last week. We can't depend on that this week, as well as Gesicki. He caught that nice fade ball, throw it up. Tua doesn't do that. So, he can do it. He's capable. He's a good thrower, but he seems to have tiny little nuts. So, ultimately, I'm not expecting much from Tua. I'm not expecting
it. Get it from a real football standpoint. They're trying to make the playoffs. What are they doing? It doesn't make any sense.
They're right behind. Fitzmagic has your team fired up. Everyone loves playing for him. I get developing your rookie. It doesn't make any sense. But fantasy-wise, real-life-wise, it's downgrades for the entire Dolphins team. So just be careful of that. Let us know if you have questions involving Parker, Gesicki, starting quarterbacks now with no Fitz as an option. Let us know. We also have James Conner eligible to return, but unlikely to be active. So just in case you were holding out hope for him, it's probably going to be Benny Snell. It's going to be ugly 15 carries for him. Maybe you get a touchdown. He's my number 24, so like usable running back because of the volume and that good offense. But they typically just huck it right now. So I'm not overly into Benny Snell, but just wanted to make that note. If you were holding out hope for Conner, it's unlikely to be he's unlikely to be active. But good to know he's feeling better and recovering from those symptoms. Lamar Jackson on the other end is expected to be back. And against the Cowboys, I mean, I know he's been one of the busts of the year, specifically tied to his draft value. But against the Cowboys, Lamar Jackson, like if we're going to ever get a 35-point outbreak from Lamar, it would be against the Cowboys. I don't think we're getting it. Like he looks, I saw you like give the little, like I don't love him. I think he's my quarterback like 9 or so for the week. So again, crazy. Like last year, you would never have even hesitated a second with Lamar Jackson against anybody, never mind the Cowboys. But if you need him in a pinch, if you have Lamar, you're probably playing him this week. I know, like I'm facing my dad, for example, in our family league, win and go in. It's like both of us, do or die. Whoever wins gets the playoff spot. We've been here before. My dad always whoops my ass in these situations. It's just like the veteran. Like I always beat my little brother. Dad always beats me. Like
just always beat your ass no matter what.
I'll never be able to beat him. I don't know what it is. And his team sucks. His team's fucking terrible, but he's going to beat me. I have the most points in the league, and I'm going to not make it. It's just the family league. I have the worst fucking luck. I know Keen's probably watching right now. Katie knows the deal. He has Lamar Jackson, but he also has Aaron Rodgers. So, like, if you have Rodgers, of course you're playing Rodgers above Jackson and things of that nature. But if you have Lamar and you have a question about him, let me know how I can help out, and we'll make sure to answer those questions. But I like him. I like him a lot against the Cowboys. Just rip through a few more of these notes. Helaire they're hopeful for the Chiefs that he's going to play tonight, but honestly, is it really worth waiting it out to 8:20 to find out, especially if you don't have a backup plan? Like, he's my RB25, so fringe RB2, but I'm 9 spots lower than the ECR. He's not a guy I'm really interested in waiting it out for, especially if you have like Jonathan Taylor or something interesting who I love this week. So let us know if you have Taylor questions. I know the Wolfpack, a lot of you guys own Taylor and begrudgingly own Taylor and probably not too pleased with owning Taylor, but this of all weeks is where he comes and pays the piper. I don't think Helaire ends up panning out for us, despite us being so into him. This is not the week he pays the piper. Taylor will plan out, not Helaire. I'm not waiting it out for him. There's if you have a horrible third option or whatever it is, let us know, but I'm not waiting it out for Helaire at this point. Swift, another rookie who we were hoping for more from, and looked so good for that 1 week, this weird concussion. I suffered in practice, I think.
Yeah, man, like
is that what it was, CJ? When the hell did
Adrian Peterson said he is having like memory issues and he just doesn't look like the same guy. It's kind of like a weird, scary thing going on.
That's like terrifying. I know, it's poor kiddo. Like right as he's taking off, who knows what happened, whether it was practice, the game, but he hasn't been himself is the quote. It's like, what's going on? So prayers up for him. I hope he recovers just like as a human being. And this isn't something that lingers horribly. As a football sense, of course, we'd love to see him on the field too, because he's such an exciting talent, but he won't be out there today. AP gets a little bit of a bump up, as does Carry-On in the pass catching role. If you're desperate for a running back too, I mean, I wish I had one of those guys in some leagues where I'm starting like Boston Scott or shit like that. Like, let me know if you have some streamer desperation, because AP and Carry-On both on that radar. But one guy that's not a streamer that I would love to get back in the lineup is Myles Gaskin. I know CJ wrote about him this week. He's activated, and he's really the only guy there. So right back into a workhorse role. He hadn't played under 63% of snaps like all season. 20 plus touches in what was it, 4 or 5 games, I think you wrote. Unbelievable volume, and there's no one in his way to get that again. And now obviously you'd rather have Fitzmagic, a more explosive offense, but then also with Tua, they're going to try to control the clock more, bleed it out. So I think Gaskin, I mean, he's my RB12 right now, just below Raheem Mostert. He's right at it. The floor couldn't be higher for a guy like that coming off injury. Usually you're skeptical, usually you're nervous of re-aggravation. They have nobody else. So ultimately, Gaskin in a good matchup against Cincinnati, the 7th most points to running backs, 3rd most rushing yards given up on the year. He's right back in your lineup, for most people at least. I got like Sanders and Hyde or Gaskin. That's tough. Gaskin's honestly probably the safest of those 3, but I think I'm siding with the talent myself. But ultimately, Gaskin in most lineups this week, unless you're completely stacked. Jonnu Smith's out versus Cleveland. I love Anthony Firkser this week. This is like the 1 week where there's tons of tight end streamers, in my opinion. And it's just a matter of which one's going to be the right one. I love Kyle Rudolph with Irv Smith out, as we're going to talk about too. He's a top week 13. But let's focus on Firkser. I think maybe the highest ceiling of the tight end streamers this week. If you have a tight end question, let me know. This guy's my tight end 11. You wrote it, CJ. What was it, like 22% target share or something like that? His last time in a featured role.
Yeah, Johnny, I think he went out in like the first quarter or second quarter, and he ended up getting bathed in targets. It was like 9 targets at 8 receptions for it was over 100 yards, I think.
It's like 120. Yeah, insane. I think he scored too. Like it was like a 30-point fantasy day.
Yeah, he did good against the Patriots in the divisional round. I think he had the game-winning touchdown catch and another 2 catches like that iced the game.
Exactly. And I posted about him yesterday. A couple people like in the Tennessee fan club, like some Titans fans were like, we've been waiting for this guy. They think he's the future. Like, just wait till you see him blow up. So people are hyped up about this guy. He's also only 2,500 on DraftKings if you're playing some DK this week. I love him at that spot. I mean, it's a free square. Put it in, set it and forget it. I do love Tunyon as well in DraftKings at 3,700. So I love him. The only tight end streamer I'd consider above him, and honestly, I think Firkser has a higher ceiling, but Rudolph is another one that I think could be a great streamer. He's still out there in a ton of leagues. No Irv Smith. Last week without Irv Smith, Rudolph set not career high, but season high in snaps, receptions, targets, yardage. He set all across the board, the season highs, and now he gets the Jaguars. I mean, as pathetic of a matchup as you can be, there's no Madison, so maybe they take to the air a little bit more than typical, even when they're just killing this Jaguars team. I like Rudolph to find the end zone. I potentially have a big day against them. So between Firkser, Rudolph, if you have tight end needs, and I feel like we all do, those guys are top 10, top 12 at worst options that are widely available in all your leagues. So check them out. Couple quick running back notes, and then we're good to go here. Carson and Carlos Hyde are both going to be active. It seems like Carson's expected to retake the reins, or what the reports are suggesting, after kind of getting eased in last week. Against the Giants, there should be plenty of clock to bleed out. So ultimately, I expect Carson to have a big day. I wouldn't be starting Carlos Hyde, but I would make sure Carson's back in my lineup, a top 7 running back. For me, Dobbins and Ingram are both activated. It's ideal Dobbins takes over that role, but we've only seen 1 week of that. Really true workhorse. I'm hoping it's the case again. It was like 60-something% of the snaps, almost all the volume in there. I hope that's the case. It's against Dallas, so if it is the case, he's going to be a monster. But I don't think we can just slide him right back into like low-end RB1, high-end RB2 territory yet. That all being said, though, if he's like your lineup decisions, let us know, because he's still a great play, just on the upside of him taking that job over. And then Todd Gurley's also active from the running backs, as is Julio Jones. So the Falcons get a nice boost. Maybe that game stays a little more competitive. I think everybody's helped out when Julio's on the field, especially Matt Ryan, who hasn't been above QB 25 without Julio for a full game, but is right around QB 11 or so in points per game with Julio. Could be a blow-up spot. We got corner injuries for the Saints. I like the Falcons offense. I like the Saints. I think that game to really hit its ceiling that it did not hit in their first matchup. I think we could get a much more points-friendly game this week. And we talked about Kyle Rudolph.
We actually do have Mark Andrews expected to play on Tuesday. That just came out.
Oh, he is expected to play.
No, not expected.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that there was rumblings that he's already inactive. Okay, so no Mark Andrews, just as a heads up. So Lamar maybe a little downgrade, but still. Last 2 notes here: Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney. No one really gives a shit about Darnell Mooney except Tanzella, because your team is fucking dog shit. It's facing me. It's win and go in. Me and Tanzella. He's got Mooney in the flex. He's gonna probably score a fucking touchdown. And I'm nervous. He's got those guys that like are hideous, but like randomly could go 100 in a touchdown. So I'm terrified. Robinson's the one you care about here. Top 7 in my rankings now that he's active. Good to go. Trubisky scored 2 touchdowns last week against Jair Alexander. He just chucks it to Allen Robinson. Great DraftKings play at 6,700. He's in your lineup. If you have Allen Robinson, you're starting him this week, no doubt about it. And last note is Devonte Booker, a top 20 running back if Josh Jacobs is out. So I like him a lot this week as a streamer. Let us know if you have Booker, what you're considering. But the Jets give up the most receptions to running backs in the league, and the Jets just blow. So lots of touchdown upside there. If anything, this helps like the Jets defense on DraftKings, where they're only 2,100. I think they're a solid like bargain basement. If you're trying to stuff everything else, I don't mind it. But I do think Booker could have a nice day, a touchdown, maybe even 2. He scored 3 touchdowns.
You think the Jets could get their first win today?
No, maybe. I guess the Raiders of all teams.
Like some betting stuff, and a lot of sharp guys are on the Jets today.
A lot of people. I've heard that too on the radio when I was going to pick up my Crave coffee. Good to see you, Crave. Quick sponsor. No, I love Crave coffee. Best breakfast sandwiches in Beverly if you're local. But yeah, I've heard that a lot. Is the Jets are the hot? Is this going to be the win? They still have Adam Gase at quarterback. I mean, at coach, they're tanking. They're not going to win today. I'm not buying it. And then the last note is defensive injury, just to track. I know Denzel Ward is out for the Browns. Their secondary already blows. So I love Tannehill today. I like that passing attack. I mean, you obviously love Henry. He's going to do his thing. But I do think Tannehill, sneaky big DraftKings play at 6,200, only helped with Denzel Ward being out. And then Denzel Perriman's doubtful for the Chargers. Maybe Damian Harris picks up a little bit of slack. They've been giving up a ton on the ground. That's their top tackler right there for the linebacker position. And Slay is questionable. I don't know, CJ, have you seen anything on Darius Slay for the Eagles?
No, but I did just see Swift is officially inactive.
Yeah.
And then, right now it's kind of the same. Feel the interested is regular tweet. There's no real surprises. Julio's active, Gurley active, Robinson active, Mooney active.
Yeah.
Tua, and then, there's no other surprises right now.
Yeah, Slay is going to be a 4 o'clock, so we won't know until then. It's not like it's a huge deal anyways, but just that much more of an upgrade if he's out for Aaron Rodgers, for Devontae Adams, who should have no problem anyways. They're both going to roast today, but still even better if Slay's out. All righty, folks, that is all the news we had. Look at that, 15 minutes and less as promised. So now we have time. Already up to 78 questions. I fucking love it, Wolfpack. But if you don't mind, as we're about to hit these, considering a thumbs up for us, help us get out to more people. Greatly appreciate it. To get out to the Wolfpack, get some more questions for everybody. Thumbs up on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, retweets, shares, all that good stuff. I know I'm a whore when I beg for it, but it does help us get out to more people. And that's the goal here, is to just answer as much and grow the pack as far as possible. We've gotten up to 40 likes in back-to-back weeks. Hopefully we can redo it. Let's get all to your questions. Top of the morning to you, Millie C. And CJ, take it away.
Broderick, non-PPR, Debo or Julio, and then Kareem Hunt or Booker.
Great questions, Broderick. Oh, man. I know the past couple of weeks we've got it right for you, which I appreciate you always letting us know. We always hear from people when we get it wrong, never when we get it right. But Broderick's one of the rare ones that's like, thank you, Wolf. You got it right for me. So I greatly appreciate that. So let's keep the streak going. I do think I go Julio here over Debo. I do love Debo. You get the Monday Night Football hope too. But Julio, 2 weeks rested. I'm not too worried about the hamstring at this point. And then against the Saints, if this game shoots out like I think it could, I think Julio's in a really good spot. So I go Julio there. Hunt versus Booker's tough. I like Booker's just better bet for sure, 15 to 20 touches, but Hunt could also really get worked in, especially if they get down. If the game script becomes the Browns playing from behind, we could get a lot of Kareem Hunt too. I think I have Hunt just one spot higher in the rankings. But that being said, Booker's ceiling would be bigger because of the 15 to 20 touches he's likely to get. I lean Hunt, but I don't know. What do you think, CJ, about Hunt versus Booker?
Yeah, I feel the same way, except I would go all the same reasoning, but I think I would go Booker just because the guaranteed touches. Yeah,
guaranteed touches against the Jets are always sexy. After last week, so many of those Brian Hills and stuff, they flopped. It's Booker's not good. He's not a great player at all. But 20 touches against the Jets is 20 touches against the Jets. Yeah. Ceilings Booker, floors Hunt, and even the floor with Hunt's not that high because we saw him lose goal line and receiving work to Chubb. So yeah, let's call it Booker. That was a good one. What's going on, Stephanie?
Steph Progan, half PPR need to start one. Lindsey versus Kansas City or Richard versus the Jets. 16-team league, nothing on waivers, and then Cam or Rivers.
Damn, this is tough. This is not a good spot, Steph. I'm guessing it has to be. Yeah, it's got to be a running back, I'm guessing. There's no Brashad Perriman or Denzel Mims or receiver you could force in here, right? If not, I feel like I'm going to I don't know. This is bad. I'll also ask, I'm in a similar situation, 14-teamer, horrible RB2 situation. I'm going Boston Scott. I don't know if he's out there. I really like his Hail Mary upside. He's out there in 80% of leagues right now. So you can check for him. Of these two guys, I might just go Lindsey. I don't know. It's bad, but they're going to be down, and he doesn't catch that many passes either. Richard, maybe Richard, just in the off chance the Jets get up big. and then Rashard has to come in, and they give up so many receptions to running backs. I'll go Rashard here. I'm going to go Rashard, Steph, but let us know if you can go receiver, if there's any other options. I know you say there's nothing on waivers here, but maybe a receiver we could jam into a flex if that's the case. Cam or Rivers, I'm going to go Cam personally. The Chargers are banged up. You can run all over them. You can't do Cam?
I'm so over him.
Yeah, it's so boom or bust, but I think he's in a good spot to run in a score or two today against this Chargers team. And Rivers has this foot thing going on. They say it's a worse thing than turf toe. He's just fighting through it. It's gross. The Titans, it's not the Titans. The Texans is a good matchup for Rivers. He's safer than Cam. Especially if you're starting one of these crap running backs, you need all the points you can get. And I think Cam has the higher ceiling. You said you're still saying Rivers though, CJ?
Yeah, I just love the matchup. He obviously can run in one or two, but that's his exact ceiling. He can't throw the ball. He's not gonna have any passing touchdowns. And I don't know. I like Rivers in that spot.
Yeah. So let's know what you choose, Steph. A little split on this one today. Morning. How you doing, Sarno? I know he messaged us. He wasn't doing so hot, I think. So let us know how you're doing. A good recovery there, Sarno. Hopefully you are over there.
Campanelli, good morning. Best part of the Sunday right here. Let's go, boys.
That's what I love to hear. And you guys are the best part of our Sundays until we win millions on DraftKings later, of course.
Connor Leahy, Tannehill, Carr, or Fitz? Well, there's no more Fitz. So.
There's no more Fitz, which is the only reason this would have been a debate. Not really. I love Tannehill this week, Connor. Facing Cleveland, 5th most points, banged up more than usual. They can also keep pace on offense too. So I think this game is my favorite of it's the highest over-under on the 1 o'clock slate at 53. And I think, Tannehill's going to really put up some serious points today. Screw Derek Carr. He couldn't get done against the freaking Falcons. No, nothing. You're useless to me.
And even in comeback mode, too. Lil Jagir looking to secure a playoff spot, a playoff bye, and some hypothetical opponents to losers bracket. Full PPR, pick 2 of these guys, Zeke, Harris, or Snell. And he was going for more of a safe touchdown floor than swinging for the fences. I
feel like Harris is my favorite here. And then I got to go. I'm not going to bench Zeke for Snell. I get Zeke is, but it's Snell. Come on. I can't do it. I can't do that. I'm going to go Zeke and Harris and just hope Zeke gets his shit together. I guess Snell might have a floor higher than Zeke's, but it's still Zeke. At the end of the day, you got to kind of go Zeke here, in my opinion.
Jagir, winning I'm in this week. Need running back 2 in the flex, full PPR, Jonathan Taylor, CEH, Gallman, or Parker.
I think for running back 2, I'm all in on Taylor this week. It could blow up in our face. He's pretty much blown up in our face all year. But last time out there, he had 26 touches, 4 of them being catches. And it wasn't like he got on the COVID list because he had it. He was a close contact. So it's almost just here's a bye week to go rest up. And now he's got fresher legs. If they just decide to feed him like they did the last time out and he gets Houston, the most rushing yards allowed in the game right now, he could go crazy. I think this could be the Taylor week we've all been picturing, all been hoping for. I sure hope so. You never know with that gross, ugly backfield. But if they can get up early and just keep pounding the rock, and even against the Packers, they got down and they still were pounding the rock. I like Taylor this week. He's my favorite of all these options. I think if Fitz was starting, Parker would have been my no-brainer flex. Now it gets tougher. I'm eliminating CEH. I don't want anything to do with him this week. Gallman, Parker, I don't know. I think I'm leaning the sure touches of Gallman, but it is nerve-wracking to have Colt McCoy at quarterback. How many scoring chances are they really going to generate with him at the helm? I don't know. Which way do you lean? I think Taylor's the only lock here, and that's still.
I like Taylor locked in. I'm going Clyde still. It's a stomach illness. He's not going to stick as a stomach illness.
I don't know.
He's not going to shut himself or the I don't know. I'm not afraid of it, but personally, I'm rolling him out. So I'm just. I also do have Lev on the bench too, just in case. But I think I would go with Taylor and CH.
Yeah, I think CH is playing. I don't want him. He's fucking been an asshole all year. I have no interest in him. I'm going to go Taylor.
Before last week, he's been serviceable.
Okay, yeah, serviceable. Gallman's been good. He's been 16 to 18. I get Colt McCoy's at quarterback. I'm going to go Keen. I'm going to go Taylor, Gallman. It's full PPR, she says. Parker does still have, I don't want to just be Parker can't be used because there's no Tua. He's facing Cincy. Cincy's really bad. Oh man, Taylor's the only one I feel great about this week. I personally go Gallman. CJ says CEH. It's probably going to be Parker as the best option there. But I like Gallman. I do. I don't think Gallman. He could bust real hard though if they get down. Freeman's not back, right? He's still on IR. I think he's even on the COVID.
He's got put on the COVID list too.
Yeah, so I like Gallman. He's been getting fed. If they can run the ball down their throat, they're going to really try to. That's going to be the game plan early. It's just a matter of does he get taken out, but he can catch too. I'm going Taylor. I'm going Gallman. If you want to roll CEH, that's the CJ recommendation. Let us know what you choose, Keen.
Campanelli's standard bonuses pick 2 receivers: Juju, Julio, Cup, Shep, Judy.
I'm going to go Julio and Cup. I like Shepard with the dink and dunk, but it's standard league especially. No, and then Judy's not on my radar at all at this point. So go. Oh, well, Juju's I'm going to go Julio Cup still. I'm going to go Julio Cup there. I like it.
Big Trubisky, Stafford, or Taysom?
I'm going to go Taysom Hill there. Trubisky would be my next option, but I like Taysom Hill a lot. He had 25 against this Falcons team without throwing a touchdown last time. I think he could run 2 in, throw 2. Like he's in a great spot today.
I like the Falcons to win that game, by the way. K. Jagier, half PPR flex, Murray or Cooper? Actually, the Saints RB1 or Cooper.
Yeah, right. Seriously, that Kamara is just taking a complete backseat. And Cooper gets the Ravens, a pretty good defense. I think I'm going to go Cooper still because, Murray crushed it last week, but I do think the Falcons are going to have a little more fight than what we've seen. And I think Murray just crushed it because it was like we were facing a Broncos team without a quarterback. Like, let's just bleed the clock. Kamara was still, recovering from some foot stuff. I think Kamara gets back on track just a little bit, at least this week. Yeah. I don't trust Murray. I remember last week was huge, but I'm going to go Cooper. He's been pretty good every time he's played with Dalton. He's been pretty solid all year. I go Cooper. What do you think, CJ?
Right on board with him.
Sweet.
Campanelli, standard bonuses, running back, pick 2 running backs: Drake, Gio, Mostert, Snell, Taylor.
I like Taylor, and comes down to Drake or Mostert. I'm going to probably go Mostert, especially standard. Yeah, I like Taylor, Mostert. They're my favorite 2. Drake right after them, but those are my 2 favorites there.
Heyo, Scotty.
Heyo, Scotty. What's going on, brother?
Arno, half PPR, need 1 receiver, 2 running backs, and a flex. Montgomery, Taylor, Ayuk, Pittman, Crowder.
So you got some good options to fill these. I think you got to get Montgomery in. You know me, I hate Montgomery, but he's facing Detroit. It's the easiest matchup. It's literally the easiest matchup he can have. And of these options, he's getting 15 touches. Then I like Taylor for your other running back. So Montgomery, Taylor for the RBs. Flex-wise, I think I'm going to go Pittman out of all these guys. I know CJ likes CEH. I can't get on board with it. He could go crazy tonight. And maybe Denver's the one team that's smart enough to just make the running game beat you instead of Mahomes. All these defenses seem to be stopping the run, and Mahomes just okay, 5 touchdowns. Here you go. How much did Tyreek have last? Have 260 yards and 3 touchdowns or something nuts? Insanity.
Nothing infuriates me more, by the way, than the Chiefs playing on the goal line. CEH will get them down to 2, and then it's reverse pass tight. Even last week, the tight end reverse pass to Mahomes. It's what are you doing? Just run the ball.
Cute. Way too cute. They never pound it right in. That's why I don't like CEH. Go Montgomery, go Taylor. You need a receiver and a flex. So you lock it in Pittman then, and then it comes down to okay. So now it's CEH, Ayuk, Crowder. Maybe I do go CEH in the flex and just hope for the best. Do you have a backup plan in case he doesn't play? They're hopeful. They're expecting him to, but the fact that it's not he's good to go kind of makes me just slightly nervous. Yeah. So if it wasn't CEH, I would I guess Ayuk could be your backup plan because he doesn't play till Monday night. So yeah, start with CEH in there, Sarno. Me and the Truth will be live tonight at 7:30, so you can kind of get that one in. We can reevaluate the situation again. So yeah, I'm all about Montgomery, Taylor, running back, Pittman at receiver, and then for now, CEH at flex with Ayuk as our backup plan.
Jeremiah Moore, start 2 receivers in standard, Boyd, Julio, Kiki, or Lazard.
How you doing, Jeremiah? Are you still down in Florida on that trip, my man? Of these people, I would go, no, not Boyd. I'm done with Boyd as long as Brandon Allen's at quarterback. So we're going Julio. I like Lazard more than Kiki, especially standard where touchdowns are more important. I'm intrigued to own Kiki, but I don't want to trust him yet. He hasn't had more than 20 yards in a year and a half now. I get the hype. I get Deshaun Watson has to throw to somebody. It could be him. It could be Coulter. It could be, I don't even know who it could be. So let's go Lazard. Let's go Julio. Good volume from good quarterbacks is usually a winning recipe.
Campanelli, full PPR, pick 2 running backs, Zeke, Robinson, Sanders, Edmonds, Hunt.
I'm going to go Robinson and Sanders here. I like Sanders' matchup against Green Bay. I know the usage has been infuriating. If they could ever get a lead against Green Bay early, it'd be because Sanders is pounding it. And then Robinson, you're never benching. Like, we don't have to ask for him.
Are you afraid of, like, the king of all vultures now with Sanders?
Jordan Howard, the vulture king. I mean, you have to be, right? Like, they're already making this a committee with shitty-ass Boston Scott, and now Jordan Howard's in there. He could absolutely vulture touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. I haven't adjusted my rankings to the fact that Howard's in, and you shouldn't ever have to adjust for Jordan Howard, but when you're playing with Doug Peterson, you have to. So, yeah, the touchdown upside is hampered a little bit there. I still think Sanders could have a big day. That Green Bay team is really bad. They give up huge chunk plays to running backs, and Sanders could score like a 60-yard touchdown out of nowhere. He's still got that speed, still an elite talent. I'm going Robinson Sanders myself.
Pat Sullivan, good morning, guys. Kyler or Taysom at quarterback, and then Nyheim Hines or James White in half a year.
What's going on, Pat? Welcome back, as always. That's tricky because Murray sucked last week. He's got the shoulder thing, but he did practice in full this week. I think he's definitely been dinged up, but he's as healthy as he's ever been. And if you have Kyler at this point, like, how do you bench him? I get the upside for Taysom. I do. I'm just never benching Kyler. Are you in the same boat with that, CJ? Like, Kyler's in, you always just
I am still worried about that shoulder. I'm telling you that Thursday night against Seahawks, his shoulder is fucked. And last week was terrible. And
it looked awful last week.
I'm still going to ride him just because you have to. But, I'm worried about him for the rest of the season.
I am slightly worried. I would still go Kyler. The thing that's probably going to take a hit, which is why Drake's been rising in value, is they're running Murray a lot less, especially at the goal line, where he's susceptible to take big hits on that shoulder. That does really take a big chunk of his points out. This is hard because Taysom's the opposite. They're just going to pound in at the goal line whenever they get down there with him. It's a guaranteed touchdown whenever they're in the red zone. They're just going to run it in with him. Man, this is balls. Like, you could go Hill. You really conceivably could. I would be riding Kyler. But the fact that's a question and it's actually a really good one is crazy. That's what's so crazy about this year. Between Hines and White, I do like Hines more. They're both the pass-catching backs, and I think against Houston, that matchup's a lot softer. Chargers aren't anything special either. But I like Hines, even if I like the Taylor blow-up today. So I'm going to go Hines over James White there.
Scotty Brooks, injury plague team, full PPR, Edmonds or Gio?
Probably Gio, guaranteed volume. Edmonds is such a cool talent. He's so fun to watch. I like the player, but he just doesn't get the volume. Like, he's nothing guaranteed ever. Give me Bernard there, sure volume, even if it's from a crap offense, crap quarterback. Oh man, that's tough, Scotty. That's tough stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna go Bernard there.
Jeremiah dropped Hines for Gaskin. Good move. Yes.
100%. Yeah, and you should get Gaskin right back into the lineup today, Jeremiah. The workhorse. Nobody else around him today. Awesome stuff.
Sarno, my weekly question: Allen or Herbert?
Tough. I do get nervous about Herbert, like a rookie against Belichick. He seems to always know how to get to rookies and like get to push their buttons. If anybody's going to have success against them, Herbert's been a monster. Allen gets San Fran. That's a pretty good D. No John Brown. Like, I love them both. I think I'm leaning Allen very slightly. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, I always love the rushing upside with Allen too. He's their goal line back.
Exactly.
I'd probably go Allen there. I'm not afraid of like Belichick right now with this defense. I just think they kind of suck.
Yeah.
I'd go Allen.
I could see that Monday night game like kind of going off too. Yeah. Ayuk and Debo both back for the Niners. Like, they could put up their points. And now when Josh Allen's in like shootouts or comeback mode, he's nuts. Like, he'll run. It's so fun to watch. I'm going to go Allen there. You get the Monday night hope factor. You get the running. And I just have him higher in my rankings anyway. So I'm going to go Allen there. It's close, Craig. Let us know if you're leaning one way or the other, but I'm going to go Allen.
Campanelli, full PPR, pick a tight end, Goddard, Ertz, Hurst.
I'm going to go Goddard. Like, how do we not ride this guy, right? I get Ertz is back, but they're talking about his role is going to be limited as he gets worked in. You've gotten 16 and 17 in back-to-back weeks from Goddard. I can't put him on the bench. You got to keep that guy rolling at this point. As bad as Wentz can be, Goddard's like the one consistent there. And I can't go back to Hurst after a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, let's go Goddard pretty confidently there. David Campanelli.
Giuseppe, my boys.
My boy. What's up, Giuseppe? Good to see you. Welcome to the show.
God. One running back and one flex from Snell, Gore, Lazard, PT.
Crazy to say I like Gore the most out of all these guys, but I do.
Why you have the Snell trade so much?
I'm not off it, but like just watching that like 3:00 gross primetime game, like he didn't look good. And it's just like they're going to throw it every time. Connor really hasn't even been that good when he's been active these last few weeks. I mean, I'll probably go Gore and Snell. I do like Lazard today, though. You know what? I'm going to go Gore Lazard. I don't like Snell that much. Gore, you're getting, last week 21 touches, the week before 18. You're getting just sure volume, even if it's from a 90-year-old running back. And it's against the Raiders, the 5th most points to running backs this year. He's going to get you 70 yards and a handful of catches and maybe find the end zone. You're getting 12, maybe 18 from Gore. I think the floor is high. The ceiling's never going to be crazy, but like an 18-point ceiling is very realistic. And then Lazard, I like Rodgers to just go. I will say this. I have 2 win and get ins or lose it and you're out. I'm facing Rodgers in both of them. I guarantee you Rodgers has 30-something points today. Like that's every time I faced the same person in multiple leagues. Last week I had Derrick Henry and Will Fuller on both of my opponents last week. Both went off for 30-something points. Like Rodgers is going to have a field day today. I guarantee it. If you're playing DraftKings, whatever you're doing, he's going to go berserk. And that means Lazard will probably be a part of that. So go Gore, go Lazard. If you want to trust the Wolf getting his ass spanked, because it's always what happens when I face the same person in 2 leagues. And Wolfpack, we're approaching that 12:00 hour. If you don't mind hitting that thumbs up button, regardless of where you're at, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, shares are also so appreciated. Just consider doing that to support the show. And as we said, next week, we're going to have like a nice link to a testimonial form if we've helped you get into the playoffs. We don't want to ask yet. We need to get you there. That's what today is for. So keep your questions on coming. Any thumbs up, though, to help us get to more people, get to more questions, any shares especially. We're at 30. Can we break that 40 pack on Facebook? I forget how many we got on YouTube last week. But thank you guys again so much for spending your Sunday mornings. It is humbling that so many of you seek our advice and want our opinions. I guess there's an error on Periscope, so hopefully that keeps up. But who knows? We're with Facebook, we're with YouTube. Who knows where everybody's going to be at? So we'll keep ripping there. And let me just see if I can get it going. 1 second. Yeah, it's still an error. I don't know what's going on there. But let's get back to your questions. Nobody cares about our errors here.
No, I see us. We're live on Periscope.
Okay.
I mean, there's only 3 viewers, so maybe there was an error, but
yeah. And regardless, sounds good.
Campanelli, full PPR, pick 2 receivers, Diggs, Lockett, AJ Brown.
Damn. I think I got to bench Lockett out of there, the most inconsistent. I do really think this is going to be a Lockett blow-up week. I just –
Oh, but you can't say that.
But look at the other 2 options. You know what I mean? Like, which one of those 2 do you bench, even if Lockett blows up? Like, they're so safe. I guess all those guys, Diggs has been 10 or more points in every game except last week, but I think he gets back on track this week. Man, that is tough. I have the gut feeling Lockett goes crazy, but I just still, if anyone's going to flop here completely, it would be him. I can't bench A.J. Brown. He's my wide receiver 4. He also is a little bit boomer bust, but against Cleveland with no secondary, I love him today. Yeah. And then Diggs has just been so safe, like especially full PPR. I'm going Diggs and I'm going Brown, but I do just have to say, like I could see Lockett having just a crazy Lockett day as well.
Get him in your flex.
If you can get him in your flex somehow, there's going to be huge upside there. But he's the most benchable of these 3 great options, David.
Sarno have a playoff spot locked up. Need to win to secure a bye.
Love to hear it, Craig. Let's get you that bye. Although, again, I've said this on a few shows, I'm kind of convinced whenever I get buys, my team gets complacent, the locker room gets tired, they think they're so
even in real life, when the Patriots put their bye, they always suck in the division.
Exactly. It's just like real life. Their team gets a little too full of itself. Depends on the manager. I'm going to blame myself for that as the manager. You got to keep your team ready and good to go. I'd be nervous. So the bye is obviously great and comforting to have, but I feel like I've never won it.
There's nothing worse than like when you keep your lineup up and they score like 160.
And you know you're not going to get them the next week. Yeah. Absolutely. It happens every time to you. You have the bye week and your team puts up 200 and you're just like, oh, well, there go all my points. I know I'm not winning next week. Yeah, exactly.
Coons, Booker, JT, CEH, Ayuk, Aguilar, Murray, Reynolds. I need one running back and 2 flex spots.
So we need 3 out of here. JT's locked in. I'm going to go Booker over CEH. And then for the flex, that's where it gets tough. JT and Booker are the easy ones to lock in. Now we just need one more flex. I mean, maybe this is where you go CEH. I wouldn't go Reynolds or Murray. I do like Aguilar against the Jets. I mean, he's been eating. I just don't think I could ever bring myself to bench CEH as much as he sucked. And I like Ayuk a lot. So I'd say let's put CEH in there for now. We can see what happens with the news tonight. Me and the truth will be quick so we can make sure we get to questions involving CEH or Ayuk and things like that. Because I do really like Ayuk too. I mean, he had 75 yards in 3 straight games before going on the COVID list. So I really like him too. But Booker, JT, let's lock those 2 in for now, and then we'll figure it out. CEH temporarily is my guy.
Yes, just traded Judy and David Johnson for Deontay Johnson. What a moron that other guy is. Oh.
Yeah. Great move. So Shady was on the DraftKings one yesterday. Asked about 30 questions about David Johnson. I was like, no more of this, Austin. He sucks. If you can package him up and get like a good receiver upgrade, go for it. This is way more than I would have expected. Shady asked. So well done. I think it's a great trade. I mean, the dude has 10 plus targets every single week, Deontay. And David could come back and play a key role because of how banged up they are. I love this move for you. So after all those questions, I guess it panned out. You really pulled off the right move here. Well done, Shady Ass. I think that's fantastic.
Does that be pick a receiver and a flex? Crowder, Myers, Gio, Rager, or Gore?
I like Gore for the flex here. And then for the receiver of all these guys, I don't like any of that, to be honest. I'd probably go Crowder just because the Ravens have a terrible secondary, especially on the slot. I know Crowder's been quiet lately, but we've still seen, 10 catch days from the guy. I'd go Crowder out of all these other options. I think he's probably the best bet. Do you agree, CJ? What do you think?
Yeah, I always like Crowder with Mcdonald's playing.
Yeah, I think he'll bounce back big.
For 6-7 more seconds. Noah Pringle, Booker, Gaskin with the flex.
Mr. Pringle, welcome back to the show as always. I'm going to go Gaskin. We've seen it so much more and so much. I get the volume in the matchup. Everything with Booker lines up, but everything also lines up for Gaskin. We've just also seen it, 8 different times this year. So give me Gaskin. I like that one, but give me Gaskin for sure.
Giuseppe Russo, Lamar, Taysom, or Carr?
Ooh, I'm going to go Lamar here. Dallas matchup. Taysom against Atlanta is pretty juicy. He's like the new Lamar at this point. Man. I have Lamar 7 and Taysom 9. So I'm going to stick to my rankings there. I'm going to go. You've paid big price to get Lamar. Let's let him earn it today against Dallas or Tuesday, whenever the fuck games are nowadays. Tuesday at 9 a.m. probably. Yeah. Who even knows at this point?
Does that be pick 3, half PPR, J-Rob, Gibson, Booker, Drake, White, or David Johnson?
Lot of options here. Gibson, I'm not benching. I'm never benching James Robinson either. You guys got to know that. Giuseppe, you know this. Come on. I feel like I've said that every time you ask this question about James Robinson. Why do you ask about him? You're only going to jinx him by asking.
He's RB4.
Literally, I think he's even higher than that at this point, right? In the fantasy season, I think he literally is the RB1 or 2. He's been insane. And Gibson's obviously crazy. I get the Pittsburgh matchup, so okay, maybe you could ask about him. But James Robinson, never ask about again. And Gibson really too. You're not benching him after a 30-point effort, even if the tough matchup exists. This is such a big week. I do want to say it was on our Wednesday podcast of the burning questions for the week. This is going to really tell us what Gibson's going to be the rest of the year, and then also moving forward next year, because this is the ultimate against him, a tough run D and a script that should be Steelers rolling the Washington football team. So if he can still be really good and active in a game where both of those are working against him, then he's going to be a monster. That also is the downside of him, but compare these other options. You have to go Gibson. And then for me, it's between Drake and Booker. I think I prefer Drake just because I own him. I have some owner bias. He's been rolling lately. Booker is he's not good, but he's got sure volume against the Jets, as we've said. I think it's literally my RB 17 and 18, though, with Drake and Booker. Drake being my higher one. What do you think of Drake versus Booker, CJ? That's tough.
Yeah, I think I'm going Booker there. Even though I do own Drake, and I think it's because I do own Drake in a bunch of leagues, and he's fucked me the entire year.
He has boned you. He's been such an asshole all year.
I think I'm going Booker there. But yeah,
I understand it. I completely understand if you're out of it and Drake's a big reason for it, why you would never want to go to him again. But he has been good lately. He's 3 straight really useful games. I think a lot of that is because of Kyler's injury. They're running him less at the goal line and running Drake more. So I like Drake, Booker. I like Drake, Gibson, Robinson. If you want a little bit of a safer option, I do think Booker might be even safer than Drake. So I understand that too. But I'm going to personally go Robinson, Gibson, Drake.
David Glass, Clinton's division. Thanks, guys. We win this week, keeps my opponent out of the playoffs. Standard flex, Deontay or Kirk?
Good options. I'm going to go Deontay Johnson, though. I know he was pretty disappointing, especially in standard leagues where you don't get all those reception points. But, man, as long as he gets out of the first quarter, he's had 10 targets every single time he's played a full game. So that's just too steady, in my opinion.
Giuseppe, San Francisco D or Chargers D?
Like defense, just roll a dice and pick them. I'm going to go San Fran because I could see like a pick 6 or something from Josh Allen. Cam is also.
I'm going Chargers.
Yeah, I don't know. They're right neck and neck. Like defenses are just such a crapshoot, in my opinion. So you got to go with your gut here. I can't make that decision for you. Yeah. I think I would personally roll San Fran. CJ goes Chargers. Like you got to decide yourself, Giuseppe. Those defensive questions we can't really help you with.
Tunes, Tannehill or Herbert? I have AJ Brown to stack with Tannehill and Eckler to stack with Herbert.
Oof, both great options. I do actually prefer Tannehill. I think the floor is a little bit lower with him, but I love the Cleveland matchup today. I really do. I would have a hard time, though, if you've been riding Herbert and he's been like carrying you. I totally believe fully in like team chemistry. And if they've been rallying and winning with Herbert at your helm, there's no reason to bench him. It's not like Tannehill's this smash play that I'm like, you have to have Tannehill in over Herbert. I personally have Tannehill 5, Herbert 7. So they're right there next to each other. I prefer Tannehill in a vacuum. But again, if you've had Herbert leading the troops all year, or not all year, but the last few weeks, and you've been rallying wins behind him, you got to stick to your guy. So I think that's the question there, Tunes, is have you been riding Herbert? And if so, you can't bench him at this point. But I, in a vacuum, prefer Tannehill. Is that crazy to have Tannehill over Herbert in my rankings?
No, I would put them right around each other. It's kind of a coin flip.
Yeah.
You are a Tannehill guy, so I can see that.
Such a Tannehill guy. I really like Tannehill today. He's my big.
I feel like that might be a shootout a little bit, even though the Browns' passing offense is starting to wake up a little bit. So yep. I'm making a shootout today.
I really do. Yeah, that's the one thing is I really like that game. And on DraftKings, I'm going Tannehill. Like I'm really into Tannehill today, Tunes. But again, I'm still a big believer in the chemistry factor. If your team is rallied around Herbert, you got to stick to your guy too.
Pat Sullivan, with your help and advice, I'm second in my league.
Let's get you that first. Let's get you that title. I love it. Great start. That probably will get you a bye, I think, in most leagues. But it all matters when we get you that title. So next week, again, as we're pumping here, we'll be looking for testimonials. We'll have a link to the site where you can submit an audio, video, or just a form. We're just going to be collecting those. So that's the biggest way to help us out. So if we keep rolling, Sullivan, we'd love to get your kind words and a testimonial potentially. But I'm so pumped to hear it. Now we got to get that title. And on that note, I saw a couple likes coming in. If you don't mind, if you haven't already, given us a thumbs up button, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, wherever you're at. It does help us get discovered, gets us out to more people, as does dropping this in any Facebook groups or wherever, text messages. I know you don't want your opponents to find this because we want to be your weapon. We get that. But if there's anybody you're not competing with and you're willing to kind of get them on to us, it's so greatly appreciated, or at minimum, just that thumbs up. We see some coming in. So thank you guys so much. So appreciated.
Van Deventer, what's up, mother truckers? Dobbins or Hunt PPR. Also, Shep, Corey Davis or Chark PPR.
Mother trucker. What's up, Van Deventer? The fullback, the cowboy collar up the middle. Regular over here. The epitome of the fullback dive. I love it. Dobbins or Hunt? I'm going to go Hunt. Dobbins, as good as that 1 week was, as encouraging as it was 1 week. And we don't know how this backfield's going to be off all the COVID. Is he fully healthy? All that stuff. So give me Hunt there, a little bit of a safer option, especially PPR. I think he could catch some balls today. Now, the other ones are really tricky. Those are all neck and neck. I think the ceiling and who I have highest in my rankings is Chark. He's facing Minnesota, really bad defense. And honestly, Glennon didn't look horrible last week. He ended up getting up to like 18 fantasy points. It is Mike Glennon. He looks like a creature from Horror Story when you look at his picture.
The longest neck of all time.
Longest neck of all time. But still, he roped it around decently well. I could see Chark having one of those crazy Chark days. One big touchdown is all you need. Shepard, you get McCoy, which actually might not even be a bad thing because he'll just dink and dunk. You'll get, full PPR. He's going to be the safest there. I actually rank these guys, though, Chark, then Davis, then Shepard. Davis is kind of the nice blend of ceiling and floor if you just want that middle option. I just wanted to lay out all the cases. My highest ranked guy is Chark because I'm always a ceiling chaser. But Shepard's probably the highest floor, and Davis is the nice little middle ground between both of them. So it's a really tough choice, Van Deventer. I go Hunt and Chark personally, but let us know what you decide. They all have interesting cases you can make.
Giuseppe, pick 3, receiver, running back, flex, Drake, DJ, Gurley, James White, Landry, Pittman, Myers.
So receiver, I'm going Pittman. And then running back, I'm going David Johnson, I guess, because I don't really like the other options. And then flex, I hate Gurley today. James White just so up and down. I like Landry. I mean, I know I hated on him, and then he blew up, and he gets Tennessee again. A nice matchup there. So I like going Landry and David Johnson and Pittman there of those options.
So again, pick 3, receiver, running back, flex, Hunt, CEH, Pittman, Higgins.
I'm going to go Hunt, Pittman, and CEH. I'm going to bench Higgins there.
Giuseppe again. Shepard or Mims?
Give me Shepard. I get the Mims air yards, all that arguments and stuff, but give me Mims.
Fantasy, blah, blah, blah. Good morning, fellas. Wow, that I'm asking this, but Kyler or Taysom at quarterback?
Yeah, we got that earlier, too. I mean, I ride Kyler. I ride or die with my studs usually, and he practiced in full. It suggests he's a little bit healthier. So I'm going to go Kyler. I totally understand it. If you go Taysom, it's justifiable. And I don't think that's a move that the fantasy gods are going to murder you over. There's certainly an argument to be made there. I honestly think Taysom has the higher floor, but it is Kyler for me. I got to stick to my studs.
Tunes, Parker, Ayuk, Aguilar, Reynolds. Just heard the 2 of them.
Yeah, I'm going to go Parker. I still ride my stud there. But out of those guys, I mean, Ayuk's close, but I still stick to Parker in that case.
Would you drop Gesicki for Ingram?
Yeah, I think I would. I mean, Colt McCoy makes me nervous, but Tua is nothing better. I mean, he is better than Colt McCoy, but fantasy-wise, who knows? But Ingram's he's been one of the highest targeted tight ends. He seems to be putting together a bunch of deep shots last week.
I think Deandre Jones might be back next week, too, it seems.
Season long wise, Ingram's definitely better. This week it's kind of up in the air, but probably, if it's that close, then season long wise it's better. Then just roll Ingram. I like that one for sure.
Ryan Fitz. Hi guys, have a great Sunday. Thanks for your help this year. I went from 11th place to 3rd place by winning 6 of my last 7. My question this week is Amari or T. Higgins is my receiver too.
Love to hear it, Brian. That's fantastic. Glad we played a part in that, and let's now keep rolling. Let's get to that title, baby. But I like to hear that, Brian. It's always good to hear the nice words. I go Amari. I know Higgins scored with Allen last week. Okay, cool. I don't expect that to happen weekly. It's Brandon Allen at quarterback. I think Miami's just going to smother that team today.
David Etheridge, Tannehill or Lamar?
I got to go Tannehill. I'm so into Tannehill, and I love the Dallas matchup, but I'm going Tannehill today. Good question, man. That's tough. If you want to go Lamar, I mean, it's your guy. You took him round 2 probably to get him. I get it. They're my 5 and 7, right neck and neck. But ultimately, I personally prefer Tannehill this week.
Jacob Beatty, Rivers, Big Ben, Lamar. Pick 2 of these quarterbacks.
I'm going to bench Rivers out of those ones. I get the football team's a good defense, but I think Big Ben could dissect them. And Lamar against Dallas, you're playing Lamar.
There's nothing funnier than being the football team is good.
Yeah, I finally caught myself from calling them the Redskins, but yeah, the football team. And what fire up the squads playing for the football team. Ugh.
Eddie Sanchez, should I play Coop or McLaurin?
Gotta be McLaurin, my man. Eddie, McLaurin has been rolling this year.
He does have a Cowboys hat on.
He's got the Cowboys fandom, and I understand it. But give me McLaurin for sure.
Terrell, too nice. Clyde or Gibson, and then Snell or White.
I'm rolling Gibson. I can't bench Gibson. Again, as I outlined earlier, I understand the worry, They could get blown out by the Steelers, and negative scripts have not been Gibson's friend. It's a tough matchup in the first place, even if they keep it tight. But it's Gibson. He's been rolling. He's so good. So fun to watch. His development as a player has just been incredible. So I'm going to go Gibson, and then Snell or White, both PPR. I mean, White is helped by PPR, but really, is it that much of a help when you have Cam Newton at the helm? So I'm going to go Gibson and Snell here. If you can go Gibson and Clyde, I would probably do that. But if that's like a separate question, I would go Snell over White personally.
David Glass, best record in the league. Thanks, guys. Standard flex question: Dobbins, AJ Brown, Jefferson.
Ooh, not Dobbins. It's between Brown and Jefferson. I prefer Brown. Jefferson's been such a fucking monster too, though. If there's a way to get them both in, somehow do it. But yeah, I go Brown over Jefferson. Would you do that too?
Yeah, I think that Jefferson's going to explode today, but AJ Brown's just so good.
They might both get 30 today. Yeah. Like, the two great options there.
BA, Billy, Chark or CEH, Sunday night, true questionable, scares me.
It does scare me too. And honestly, Chark has a good narrative today against Minnesota. I mean, the only bad part of his narrative is the one throwing him the ball, which is a pretty important part of the narrative. But he didn't look bad. I mean, if he's gone and done with Minshew, and he had a huge day with Luton or whoever the fuck that guy was for a brief minute, I think Glennon can still get Chark the rock, and that's how bad Minnesota's secondary is. So I don't mind that at all.
SL, he's playing Kirk over Lamar. He's being cautious because of Lamar's COVID.
And I guess that is an interesting point, and I should have said that with all the Lamar questions we've got. Like, there is the risk he doesn't play. The news is he is expected to give it a go. I mean, your backup plan would be RG3, and that would not
No, RG3's in the IR.
Oh, so McSorley. Who's a beast. I love McSorley. Unlocked Marquise Brown for once. But all the reports are he's expected to be active and start for the Cowboys. So I think you roll Lamar. Personally, I would not do Kirk Cousins because of the risk. I get the matchup for Kirk, but the matchup also is like, what if Dalvin Cook just goes 150, 2 touchdowns? They're killing him. If they can throw it 10 times, they're going to, which I say about Kirk Cousins every time. There's a nice ceiling, but there's also a very low floor.
Like Clay, I put in Chark for Parker.
I think I'd still go Parker. I get the Tua worries, but you also have Glennon on the other end of it too. So it's like, who do you want, Tua or Glennon? I'd probably go Tua. I don't know why Periscope keeps popping up here as I try to get to questions. We're probably not live on Periscope anymore. Whatever.
Full PPR start: Deontay, JK, or John Taylor.
I think I like Taylor the most, which is crazy. Deontay's the safest. But I really just think this is going to be a John Taylor week, despite B.A. Billy for this lovely message here. Fuck you, Wolf, for Taylor. Yeah. I mean, it was a shitty fucking guy that just did not pan out. But I think he makes everything worthwhile today against Houston. We're getting 25 carries. We're getting 120 yards and 2 scores on the ground. Book it, B.A. Billy, and you're going to eat those fucking words.
Eric Smith, if you make the playoffs, what WWE entrance music are you playing? I'm willing to NWO.
I love that one. I'm a huge fan of Shawn Michaels' entrance music myself. I feel like CJ's like the Undertaker. You have like the gong and cut down. I personally am the Heartbreak Kid. He's my favorite entrance of all time. NWO is a good one. Do you have a particular wrestling entrance you would make, CJ?
Honestly, I couldn't name like one entrance.
Oh, come on. You were an actual child one day and enjoyed wrestling? Come on.
That was also like 20 years ago. I'm an old man now.
Wrestling's the GOAT. I go Shawn Michaels. I don't know. You're the Undertaker then. I'm giving you Undertaker. I would personally be Shawn Michaels.
Steven Michelson. Am I overthinking this? Kirk over Hopkins? Yikes.
Yeah, you're overthinking it. My cousin called me this morning with Deontay Johnson or Hopkins. That one was tough for me just because Hopkins has sucked lately. And I get the Ramsey worries, but like, again, just like Kyler Murray, where we've answered some questions, you got to kind of go studs here. I like this one from Scotty Brooks. This is a good entrance for sure.
Triple H, the game.
Yeah, it spits the water up and stuff.
Yeah.
CJ walking into his entrance, spitting the water into the air. I like Triple H, the game. That's a great one. That's an awesome question, Eric L. Smith. Let me know, fans, what you think out there, what your entrance would be. I'm a Shawn Michaels fan myself, but Triple H, the game. That was when me and Nat taught at KIP together. There was like this prize called the Green Monkey. I know no one gives a shit, but like they would walk out at Fridays for the competition and he would put on Triple H and all the kids would like boo him and stuff. Just get shit on for Triple H the game. So that's Nats for sure.
Steven Michelson playing Cousins over Lamar Jackson. Oh
Yeah, he's the SML inscribed. So yeah, I get that, but I'm personally going Lamar myself.
Duke, Cooper, Marvin Jones.
I'm going to go Cooper. I feel pretty good about Cooper. I like what he's done with Dalton at the helm. So I'm going to stick with Cooper there.
Jeremy Anderson, Ertz, or Hayden Hurst?
Probably Hurst. I don't trust Ertz his first game back, and really he wasn't doing anything anyways, even when he was healthy and starting.
Pitching about his contract and life.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike Clay must win flex Taylor, Dobbins, or Booker. A little low in your rankings.
I think I'm a little hesitant on Booker and like the fill-in running backs, just like they're not good players. Like I get volume, and that's typically the most important thing. But we saw with Brian Hill last week, like bad players just, I mean, Booker's not horrible, but he makes me nervous. And I'd rather just go Taylor against Houston today. I really think he's just going to eat. This is the week he pans out for us all. And maybe not. If I'm dead wrong, then I'll go down on that sword. But I'm into Taylor a lot this week. Am I crazy for Taylor, CJ? Like, do you think he pans out today, or am I?
Yeah, I mean, everything's there for him, and the last time he was healthy, he was really good. So, no, I see your point.
And it was the thing that I feel against Green Bay. It's the first time he's really. Oh, yeah, we're back.
You're back. You're back.
Yeah. You're back. Okay, sweet. But what I really liked is not only just the volume, but the way he looked. He was decisive. He's looked so tentative and like he's overthinking everything at the NFL level so far. Until against the Packers, he was putting his foot in the ground and just getting up there, breaking tackles. I think there's a stat like he broke almost as many tackles in 1 week against the Packers than he did all weeks 1 through 10. So I'm into Taylor. I think this is going to be the day he really pans out for us and blows it up. Wolfpack, we're only 3 likes away from hitting 40 again in back-to-back weeks. If you haven't given it a thumbs up, please consider doing that, helping us hit that 40 likes record. And of course, any shares, thumbs up, whether you're on YouTube, Periscope, if we're on Periscope, who knows, and Facebook, the shares, the likes, the retweets, it all helps us out so much. So thank you guys so much. Let's try to break that 40. We're up to 38. Let's keep it going. Mitchell Chavez, we should absolutely eat today. Great to see you, brother, as always. And Van Deventer's in a win and in. So let's get it too. I'm in 2 of those, Van Deventer. We got to get these W's for sure. All righty, Mr. Sarno.
Burton or Furster?
No, Ferkser. I feel great about Ferkser. Whereas Burton's in this like 3-headed nightmare. Like he scored in back-to-back weeks. Okay, I get it. But I'm all day Ferkser. I'm really.
Your name was Furster, so I typed it wrong probably 25 times.
I've misspelled it in like 30 different tweets. Like I can't, is it Fersker? Is it Ferkser? I think it's Ferkser, right? Like
Ferkser, yeah.
It's what he has here. Yeah, that the K and S keep fucking with me. 43 likes. There we go. Up to a new record. I love it.
Kevin Deegan need to drop someone for a defense, starting Eckler and Zeke. Swift and Jacobs out. Have Booker and plan on dropping before 1 for defense. Start Booker over Zeke and drop Pittman or Devo. Roll with Zeke. I don't know what's going on.
This is lots going on here. I really like Booker over Zeke, but I get like you'd have to drop Pittman and Debo. Both great options, Kevin Deegan. So if that's the case, I might just drop Booker. But I do prefer Booker over Zeke. Like that's crazy.
And the good thing too is that if you drop Booker, then he's going to be locked for the week anyway, so you can get.
Yeah, no one's going to use him against you, which is nice. Yeah, but you are putting Zeke in there, which could be another 2-point day, which fucking sucks. I just don't want to drop Pittman or Debo though. There's such good options. Like, is there nobody else you can drop? Because if that's the case, if it comes down to dropping Pittman or Debo or Booker for a 1-week rental, I drop the 1-week rental so I can keep those 2 guys, especially if you're already into the playoffs. If this is win or go home, I might just stick with Booker and drop Pittman before Debo. But if you're already into the playoffs and you don't need it and like whatnot, I wouldn't want to give up Pittman or Debo. I think both those guys have really huge stretch run upside here.
Omar, what's up, fellas? This is it. Winning them in. Sit Parker for Hollywood now that Tua is in.
No, I get the nervous. But Parker's not like completely obsolete, especially full PPR. He had like a 6-catch, 70-yard day with Tua. And since he's really bad on the outside against receivers. So I would not, Omar, Hollywood's been so boomer bust. I mean, he was looking like a 10th straight dud until he caught a 70-yard bomb from McSorley last week. Like, I can't trust Hollywood, despite the good matchup for him. I'm going to go Parker there.
Mike Clay, Ebron, or Hurst?
Give me Ebron. He's been steady. I think he's scored, 2 to 3 straight games. Washington's, they're pretty good to outside on receivers, but they've given up, I believe, top 10 in terms of points allowed to tight ends. I like Ebron there. He's rolling.
Frazier Mcdonald. Good morning, guys. Currently in 4, going all in on Taylor this week to guarantee my playoff spot. Been waiting for this moment.
We've all been waiting, Frazier. If he puts up a dud, it's going to blow. We'll rip him to shreds tonight on the post-game, or we'll be celebrating him tonight on the post-game. So come on down at like 7:30-ish, right after Red Zone. And we're either going to be singing his praises and chugging beers in his honor, or ripping shots and giving him the middle finger. Who knows what it's going to be, Frazier? That's the fun of the Red Zone. Are we going to be depressed Wolves, or are we going to be happy Wolves? Let's find out.
Hey, Jaguar, Ebron, or Rudolph?
Ooh, that's tough because I love Rudolph. You guys know I love Rudolph this week. Oh, man. I think that's my 9 and 10 tight ends, Keen. You always do this. I feel like you always ask a tight end question that just makes my brain hurt. Yep, Ebron's 9 and Rudolph's 10. I do go Ebron there. But I love Rudolph this week. I honestly think he has a higher ceiling than Ebron. But I like Ebron for sure.
If you get her into the playoffs, she'll owe you a Bissell Brothers.
Deal. I'll take that deal any day of the week. And if I don't get you in, I'll get you some Bissell Brothers too. How about that, Keen? We'll get you in, or we'll pay you some beer either way. But I'd much rather have you in, and you owe me the beer for sure.
Deandre Johnson, half PPR, and a flex, and running back and flex. Gaskin, Mostert, Dobbins, Debo.
Great options, DJ. I feel like you're usually asking like fucking like horrible options, so this must be a different league. And it ends up usually panning out too. Without you have these like crazy flyers that all starts to pan out. I'm gonna go Gaskin and Mostert here. Dobbins is the riskiest, and I love Debo, I do, but those two running backs, I mean, you got 2 top 12 guys there. Ride them. Like, get the Stallions going. Buffalo's run D is pathetic. I think Mostert could have like a really, really nice Monday night, one of those crazy like 152 days. And Gaskin, the only guy there. I like it a lot.
BA, Gurley, or Chark?
Chark. Gurley sucks, and he's facing the toughest run matchup there.
Just chirping.
BA Billy. I think this guy's from North Andover, which I can't slander because I work there and I'm employed, but screw you, BA. Fucking asshole. That's the last question we answered for BA today. Beverly's the greatest place on earth, you asshole.
Same Tiger. Hey, I need advice. Start 2 receivers in a flex. MT, AJ Brown, Chark, Debo, Cup, Woods, Parker, Mostert, Snow.
A lot of interesting options here. I like Brown is the best option here. So that's one receiver. I really like both of the Rams guys.
This receiver core is
Insane. How do you have this many? So I need to get Mostert and Brown in. So then it comes down to the receivers. Like, honestly, you could put in both Rams and bench Mostert, but I want Mostert in. I want AJ Brown in. Out of the 2 Rams, you got to just make your call, whatever your gut says. I'd go either of those guys over Mike Thomas.
I'm always a Woods guy over Thomas.
I am too. Woods has been cooking lately. And I need Woods myself. So owner bias, whatever you want to call it. I like Woods the most. Do you consider CJ Mike Thomas at all in this one, given what he did against the Falcons last time?
Nope.
Nope.
that offense I just can't stand anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to go Woods. I love it.
Sarno's all about the crave sandwiches. Do you agree?
They are so fucking good. Which one do you go with, Sarno? I'm a steak and eggs guy. Steak, eggs, sub crema for pepper jelly is my move. What is is that your go-to too, CJ? The steak and eggs?
A nice little pita pocket.
Oh, so I love the pita. It's all buttery and just so their croissants are out of this world too, though. So the North Shore is not a bad sandwich by any means.
LMAO, is Booker a good play today? I like him better than you do, but
what'd you say?
I said I like him better than you do, I think. But,
yeah, you're really high on him, and I am too. Like, I'm nervous because of how bad a lot of these backup running backs have been when they get the shot, but volume's volume, and volume against the Jets is even better volume. So I like him for sure. Most receptions given up to running backs this year. It's just a matter of, is Rashard going to be that involved? If not, if we get a 3-down roll from Booker, incredible. But if it's like a shitty-ass committee suddenly, like we can't just sit here and pretend like we know exactly how this backfield's going to unroll. But if he's the 3-down horse, which I think I expect, he should be a great play, yes.
Same Tiger doesn't start any Eagles player. They do stuff.
Yeah, other than Goddard, I would say. And Sanders, Sanders in the easiest matchup for running backs, or second easiest. The Detroit Lions is the easiest. I go Sanders and I go Goddard in my lineups. But other than that, you're right. Like, there's very few. There's no receivers. Wentz can go fucking get the fuck out.
I don't understand this fall off the cliff. David Etheridge, pick one of these. Debo, Claypool, Juju.
Debo, I'm going to go Claypool. Claypool's just been a beast. Debo's a close second, but I like Claypool. Just, he's been unstoppable, David.
Same Tiger, SMH, Eagles thinks I have it.
Yeah, they sure do. Somebody hates the Eagles.
I was gonna say someone lost money on the Eagles because they covered on that like Hail Mary last week.
Yeah.
Julio Chavez, Julio is officially active.
Yeah. Julio's in, probably in your lineups. My wide receiver 13 for today.
Slay still banged up from DK beating his ass last week.
He really just destroyed him. Yeah, that's exactly injury. Imagine that on the injury report in parentheses, ass beat by DK. Like
the Eagles trying to like rough him up last week was so weird. He's like the biggest monster alive. They're like keep shotting him, and he's a complete animal.
That was the best. Like all you're gonna do is make him more mad. I loved like before the game too. He even called it out. He's like, I'm gonna make them pay for passing on me every time I face the Eagles. They drafted Jaw. Embarrassing. I mean, everybody. We drafted N'Keal Harry. Everybody passed on DK at least once. But the fact that they like literally within 2 picks of each other took Jaw over DK. I love that he's like spiteful about it. He's the man. I fucking love DK.
Dame Tiger Julio is just okay this season.
He's okay. Yeah. When he plays, he's good. Exactly. Get him on in today.
I helped him pick 2 of these: Sanders, Carson, Harris, Taylor, full PPR.
I'm going to go Sanders and Carson. As much as I love Taylor today, I think those are 2 good options. But full PPR, yeah. Sanders has good receiving upside, and Carson I love. If you're ever going to use Taylor, this is the week. So if you were going to use him, I'd bench Sanders. But I personally like Sanders and Carson the most of those options.
Jeremiah Perkins, good morning, team. Do you like the Saints or the Seahawks defense?
I mean, I have the Saints. Seahawks is the better on paper, no doubt about it. The Seahawks, I mean, the Saints have also put up 14 or more in 4 straight weeks. And it's like, I have the Saints and the Bears, for example. On paper, Bears make way more sense against fucking the shitty-ass Detroit Lions. I just can't bench the Saints after they've gotten me 14 points or more in 4 straight weeks. Again, I might be weird and believe in like weird karma with fantasy teams and stuff, but if something's rolling, I don't bench it. So I'm not benching the Saints personally, even if I understand why. Against Colt McCoy, the Seahawks are better, like on paper. But I'm just going Saints no matter what. I cannot bench them. I can't get off of them today. Oops.
Sarah Riley, half PPR flex, one of these: Gibson, Thomas, Woods.
I'm going to go, I'm going to go Gibson. I got to keep it going. I just got to ride that train. As much as I love Woods, I'm going to go Gibson. Would you do Gibson or Woods? I know you're a Woods guy. Where does that line get drawn?
Yeah, I hate that matchup for Gibson this week. I think I go with Woods.
It's tough. It's such a tough matchup. Give me Gibson.
Moreno, full PPR, need 1 for the flex. Gore, Harris, Higgins, Eckler, and DJ, my running backs, Metcalf and Bill, and my receivers. So pick Gore, Harris, Higgins.
I think I have to actually get David Johnson into my rankings this week. So I'm gonna quickly, just because I am in top 20 of Fantasy Pros competition, I don't want to screw that up. So let me add him in and figure out where he ranks. Because honestly, I think I might rather have like Frank Gore in than I would rather have David Johnson. Let me just quickly add DJ in here, and I'll get you that answer in a sec. Thank you for your patience, Wolfpack. I promise. And as I'm doing that, if you want to give it a thumbs up, despite me being an asshole and doing my rankings in the middle of the show, I just don't want to mess up here. I'm putting David Johnson right at 23, below Zeke. So I have Harris higher. I'd rather have Harris in there. I just don't know that I love the matchup for David Johnson. I don't like the fact that he's coming right off the IR. I think, honestly, even Gore might be safer this week. So I don't think he's nearly as locked in as you think he is. Let me just move Duke down to just nowhere because he's fucking useless now. So Duke, you get a nice bump down, you bag of shit. All righty. Let me publish those. Bam. Thank you, Wolfpack, for your patience there. I apologize. I just want to make sure I keep up with that competition. So thank you for the reminder, Robert Moreno. I don't think David Johnson's nearly the lock you think he is here. I would put Harrison over DJ. And for the flex, maybe you put in DJ over Gore. With all that being said, I don't prefer Higgins, Brandon Allen. So it comes down to Gore or DJ for me. I don't know. What do you think of Gore versus David Johnson? Like, Gore's safer,
Those are the 2 grossest running backs in the NFL. Honestly, I didn't even know DJ was even playing this week until like today.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think honestly I have no fucking idea. I'd go with Gore, I guess. Just because
I think I go Gore too. I'm adjusting my rankings to show that too. I don't want to give advice and then have my rankings say something else. So I'm going to move David Johnson below Gore. And yeah, I mean, Indy's a tough matchup anyways. David Johnson's not that good. I mean, he has been on IR, so maybe his legs are fresh after the long hiatus here. But I don't feel great about anyone in that backfield. They don't throw to the running backs. And it's a tough matchup against Indy. Maybe the Fuller injury means they ride him a little bit harder. But Gore, you're getting 20 touches. You're getting freaking 20 touches. So you got to feel okay about that. I guess Isaiah Coulter's not playing for the Texans, which was like my big sleeper. So great. Good call there. Let me just take him out of the rankings too. That literally just popped up. Again, guys, thank you for your patience. I promise we'll get to all your questions. I just want to make sure I don't have any mistakes in here because I'd love to get back into the top 10 of Fantasy Pros competition here. The Wolf has to come back for his spot. It was once top 5. I need to make sure these are as good as possible. All righty, QB, D kicker. All righty, Wolfpack. That is now published. I'm going to get the widget code, standard, generate it. Bam. All righty, guys. I am back here. So, yeah, that question, I know, again, long time. Thank you. It looks like most people stuck it out with us there. So thank you for that. But I'm going to go Gore and Harris and bench David Johnson here for the flex. All righty. Let's keep it rolling here, Wolfpack.
Omar, Rivers, or Ryan?
I am going to go Matt Ryan. I feel pretty good about that Saints matchup, banged up corners. And I just don't – I mean, Rivers has the foot thing going on, and, like, I get the matchup for him too. But anytime Julio's fully there, Matt Ryan has some real upside. So give me him. I'm going Matty Ice there.
Ilias, Montgomery, or Kamara?
I'm going to go – oh, man, like Montgomery's safer, which is crazy. But I'm going to go Kamara. I just keep riding my studs no matter what. And it's Montgomery. Like, anytime I can say bench Montgomery, I'm going to say it. And Kamara's – where do you draw the line, CJ, with Kamara? Like, is Montgomery – would you go Kamara?
I love Montgomery this week.
He's so good this week. I mean, the matchup couldn't be easier, but –
yeah, honestly. I mean, I guess you just – personally, I would always go with my stud. That's just how I roll with it always. I'd never bench my first couple round guys. So I'd go Kamara, but if I was just be objective, I would say David Montgomery.
Yeah, the matchup couldn't be easier for Montgomery, Ilias, but it's still Montgomery. And like, just when you think you can trust him and use him, he's going to fucking shit all over you for 7 points today. And Kamara will have like 10 receptions out of nowhere, even though he hasn't caught more than one ball in 2 straight weeks. I'm into Kamara. I'm going to ride it out. I think the Falcons keep it much more competitive with Julio now back on the field.
Sarno giving us a HIPAA violation on himself.
Damn. I hope you're feeling better, Craig. I hope that everything pans out there. That's not fun by any means.
Jose, win or die. Jesus. Be our bench one.
Very dramatic here, Jose. He's got like somebody with like a gun to his head. If you don't win this game, you're going down. Oh shit.
You go Mike Thomas or Deandre. Bench one of these.
Bench one. I probably bench Debo. I love Debo. Like, it's just a matter of you got 3 great options. Tom is probably the riskiest, but he crushed that.
If you're gonna die after this, I would go down to your first.
Go down with your first round pick. If you're gonna die with your pick. I'm gonna bench Debo here.
Karan, can you make me feel better about starting Miles Sanders in a must-win?
I mean, Green Bay, easiest possible matchup besides Detroit. Second most points to running backs. Easy. I mean, he just needs 1 70-yard touchdown. He did it against the Steelers. If you can do that against the Steelers,
Montgomery have that like 60-yard.
Yeah, and they give a tons of receiving work. Like, the committee makes me nervous, especially Jordan Howard being shitty ass active. But give me Miles Sanders, no doubt about it. I like him this week. You can feel good, Karan. I feel good about him. Swift is out. We saw that, Mitch. Thank you for keeping the pack up.
Sanders or Booker, full PPR.
Sanders for me. Yep, the Green Bay matchup. We are getting dangerously close to the rapid fire time here, so CJay, I will.
Herbert the pervert or Watson?
I'm gonna go Herbert. I don't like Watson at all this week. If you guys have Watson questions, let me know. I'm like 6 or 7 spots lower than the ECR on him.
That's awesome. Juan Pena, I have Claypool and Juju in my receiver slot. Should I start any of these guys over them? Julio, Landry, Samuel?
Samuel's on bye, so definitely not him, my man Juan. But I'm going to go Julio, and I'm going to go Julio over Juju, and I'm going to keep Claypool in there. That's what I would do.
Agreed. Campanelli, standard bonuses, flex this player, Juju, Shep, Drake, Gio.
Probably Juju there. No, I like Drake. I'm going to go Drake, especially standard. A lot of touchdown upside there for sure.
Velvet, PPR, Taylor, or Zeke?
Taylor, definitely. Love Taylor's matchup today. Zeke's been such a bag of shit lately. I think this is the week Taylor really pans it out for us.
Deandre Johnson, half PPR, flex this player, Shep, carry on, Aguilar.
I am going to go Shepard over Aguilar, but very close. Very close. You can go Aguilar. I'd be fine with it. Carry on's my last option there.
Scotty Brooks, Big Ben or Cousins?
Man. I go Ben just because he's rolling, but Cousins does have that Jags matchup. It's definitely juicy.
Bailey Fields, who's more likely to score, Montgomery or Chubb?
Chubb. Come on, Chubb. I mean, Montgomery has that great matchup, but Chubb is top 3 play this week. Like, it's Chubb, definitely.
Discover ruled out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we just covered that. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate it.
One penny, who should I start in my flex? I have John Taylor starting over Juju, Jamal Williams, Edmonds, Landry, Sam, and no more Sam.
I keep that as is. I start John Taylor over all those guys.
P.S. Gallman over Kamara?
No, you ride your studs. You go Kamara.
LMAO, pick 2 in the flex, full PPR, Perriman, Hunt, Chark, Booker. Thank you.
Got to pick 2. I'm going to go Hunt, and I'm going to go Booker there. That's where I roll.
Robert Sled, Higgins or Akers, half PPR.
I think I go Akers. I think it's his time. I just don't trust Higgins. I know he scored last week. He's such a stud. Like, maybe he can keep getting done with Brandon Allen, but I don't trust him.
Jimmy Bridges, what's up? Zeke or Book?
Booker. I'm feeling good about Booker. Zeke just makes me so nervous, Jimmy. He's one of the studs I don't really feel like riding it down with because we've seen one good game in 6 weeks. One of them's been good.
Bars in the tuck. Good morning. Pick one of these quarterbacks. Alex Smith, Mullins, Colt McCoy, Brandon Allen, 6-point touchdowns.
I would go. We got only one. Oh man, we're in tough shape here, Bars. Probably Mullins, but I mean the Bills aren't. They've got a good cornerback crew, but they still. I don't know. What do you think?
Who does the football team play this week?
The football team faces Pittsburgh, so that's not a good matchup for Alex Smith.
Yeah, I'll go Mullins in the potential shootout against the Bills.
I will say that McCoy does get the Seahawks, so like he could chuck 2 stupid touchdowns in garbage time, but I don't really ever want to start. I'd go Mullins. I'm going to go Mullins here. And then sitting out of those running backs, I would probably sit Monty. Like, I mean, the matchup's there, but I just love Gaskin and Gibson. Yeah, I'm gonna sit Monty myself. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I can. That's tough, but yeah, I'm gonna sit Montgomery. Ishmael, good morning, gentlemen. 2 QB league. Which 2 should I roll with out of Cam, Wentz, and Locke?
Oh man, that is ugly-ish. Good to see you, brother. I think I'm gonna go. All of these guys have been ugly. Man, fuck.
Cam, Wentz, I think maybe. I don't know.
I like Cam the most, honestly, out of these guys. Wentz. I mean, where do I have Wentz? I have Wentz 19 and Locke 21 and Cam 13. So to me, Cam, I know as hideous as Ben, I think he has a decent rushing day today. I'm going to go Cam and I'm going to go Wentz. It's not good. It doesn't feel great, but I think Wentz could get some good garbage time in. Give me Wentz, give me Cam. I don't trust Drew Lock ever. That's tough. But thank you, Ishmael. That's good luck. Best of luck there.
And would you go Cousins over Allen?
Nah, I'm riding my stud, Josh Allen there.
One running back, one flex from Snell, Gore, Lazard, Cutie.
I'm gonna go Gore and Lazard. I think we answered that one earlier. I'm gonna go Gore and Lazard.
Omar, Juju, or Diva?
Juju, close. I don't know. That's tough. I really like Debo this week. I'm trying to see what I have him in the rankings. I have Debo. Yeah, you know what? I have Debo higher. I'm going to roll with Debo. And I have Debo too, so we can root for him together, Omar. I like doing that.
You drop AB for Mims and start him over Shepard this week?
No. No way. Overthinking it.
Goddard or Montgomery in the flex? Montgomery.
I'm going to go, Montgomery there, as good as Goddard is, Anthony.
And Mooney or Crowder in the flex?
Fuck you, Tans. I know that's against me. I'm not answering your questions today, Tans.
I'm going Crowder. Jonathan DeSantos, Wayne Gallman or Drake?
I'm going to go Drake, but that's a really good one. Those are right neck and neck in my rankings. I think, CJ, I might go rapid fire mode. I don't know. Do you want to go over your player props, or I don't know if we even have time.
We have to show the questions up.
Yeah, all righty. So I'm going to go rapid fire mode. If you hear anything you hate, feel free to interrupt me and say, shut up, Wolf, at one point. But let's go. Kevin Ford, Chark, Swamp Scott guy. Chark, Dobbins, Lazard, flex full PPR. I'm going to go Dobbins. I think, oh man, that's tough though. Chark is close, but it's Glennon at quarterback. Go Dobbins, in my opinion. Hurst or Hooper. I'm going to go Hooper for the touchdown bet against Tennessee. I like that. Tansvez, Hito Smith, or Jay Wilkins, Arby. Desperate Hail Mary. Screw you, Tans. Not answering any of your questions against me. Fucking asshole. You can answer it, CJ. I'm not giving him any advice.
That's disgusting. I would honestly, it's so gross. I'd go Wilkins, I guess, because Gurley's back.
Screw you, Tans. Full PPR, flex, Zeke or Lockett. I'm going to go Lockett and hope for that blow up. I really think it could happen this week. DFS, Jefferson or Lockett. I like Jefferson for sure. Even though Lockett, if it's a tournament and you want to differentiate, I could see that being your play. But Jefferson, just in a vacuum, I like more for sure. Jair, should I go with Gordon or Lamb? Gordon, but I don't love either Jair. Claypool, McLaurin, or Cooper. I gotta go McLaurin, and then Claypool a close second, but I love McLaurin. Mike Ferrandez, Chark, Mike Will, Gallman. I'm gonna stick with Gallman there. He's been rolling. I am worried about what this offense looks like with Colts, but I still think they're gonna try to establish it through Gallman there. Half PPR, Noah Fant or Ingram. I'm gonna go Ingram, Matthew Sohn, and then Zeke, Murray, or Judy. I'm just gonna go with Zeke there. I don't love it, but out of those guys, I'm gonna go Zeke. Hill or Newton for Sean. Give me Taysom Hill all day, Sean. I love the matchup today. Drop Fitzpatrick or Rager. Fitzpatrick. At this point, there's, it's going to be Tua as long as he's healthy. Playing against McLaurin, he listed as questionable. Any news on him? He should be fine, Tunes. He was listed as questionable on Thanksgiving. They keep doing that. He's fine. He's good to go. Trubisky or Mayfield. I hate Trubisky as a player, but fantasy-wise.
I have him in DFS lineup this week. I love him.
I think he's a great DFS play at 5,400. He put up 21 and against a good Packer secondary, and he looked like shit. That's what he could be as awful as possible, and he's still going to put up fantasy points. So I like him. And again, guys, as we rapid fire here, last little plea for the thumbs up button before we sign off here. Maybe we can even hit 50 likes. Who knows? But shares, likes will get us more questions. We have about 10 minutes till kickoff, so I'm going to get through all of these. But a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated if anybody out there has not hit that for us yet. Thank you so much again, Wolfpack. Here we go. Let's get this going. Herbert or Hill? I got to go Herbert there, Tunes. Got to keep riding your guy. Pittman, I really like Kevin Ford. 9 targets last week, even though he didn't put up much stats on it. The volume's been there. I feel good about Pittman, especially against a bad Houston secondary that also is now without their top corner in Bradley Rowe because he got suspended. Sitlaus de Patro. Pick 2 running backs, Jones, Dalvin Cook. I mean, it can't be anybody else. It's Jones and Dalvin Cook. I do love Myles Gaskin, but come on. Pick 2, McLaurin, Claypool. I think that's it. Yep. It's the first 2 you listed in both of them, even though I do like Pittman. The other guys, I just like too much more. Omar F., last one. I feel like you say this every time, Omar, and then you have 10 more after this, and I don't care because you're a fucking G, Omar. I love you. Would you start Gio, sit Gio for Hollywood, Jamal, Kirk, or Crowder? Full PPR. I don't love Gio. So, yeah, and I think out of these guys, I might do it for Crowder. I could see Crowder having like one of those weird 8-catch days. Other than him, I would go for Hollywood and just go for the blow-up. But I don't want to trust Gio today. Tater Tot, Perriman, Gabe Davis, or Hardman. I love Perriman today. I absolutely do. You guys might be young for this, but Merton Hanks had the longest neck in the NFL history. I don't know who Merton Hanks is. Do you, CJ?
Never heard of him.
You should look him up. We can pull up a picture towards the end and show him off. Is Gaskin the top 10 running back? I have him at 12, so right on the fringe, and very easily Anthony Costa could fit into the top 10.
Great, insane neck.
Does he have an insane neck for Merton Hanks? We'll pull him up at the end for everybody. I'll share my screen if you want to wait it out to the end.
We have a nice chirp right here.
Yes, I love this. This is Shady Ass's. I love the parentheses too. Shady Ass's girlfriend. I kick his ass on lineups every week in DraftKings. So curious of what you think of my lineup. I love Tannehill and Henry. There's no argument. Kamara makes me nervous, but I love the differentiation there. Metcalf, Woods, Cutie, Hawkinson, Cephas. I don't know about Cephas. I got the reports that, like, you know, they're going to potentially cut Marvin Hawks. They want to get Cephas more run. I don't know that I trust that, but I like the value plays you have in there. I personally prefer saving a little bit more money at tight end. As good as Hawkinson is, I love like going Ferkser, and that's where I save my money. But overall, you have a lot of plays I agree with. Kristen Crash. Good to see the girlfriend talking shit there. Awesome stuff. Herbert or Kirk? I'm going to go Herbert there. Can't bench him the way he's been all year. Happy PR. Mike Willie or Gallman? I'm going to go Gallman. I know I'm worried about Colt McCoy too, but Gallman's been so steady. I'm going to stick with it. Am I fucked for considering benching Hopkins for Debo? I've gotten a ton of benching Hopkins questions, and all honestly, they're all valid. Ramsey is terrifying, but I couldn't personally do it myself. If you do it, you can do it. You're not going to get my blessing, but honestly, I understand it. Tannehill over Hill, yes, I would do the same thing. NCAA. Stone Cold Steve Austin music for David Campanelli. I like that one. That's a great one too. Get the beers getting tossed in. Rolling out to a Legion of Boom. What a rush. A lot of the entrance music's good stuff. They were fantastic, that Legion of Boom. PPR, Gibson or Cooks and Flex. I'm sticking with Gibson. Can't bench him. I love the Cooks narrative. Like, I mean, the number one here. But give me Gibson there. I hate cut Taylor. Oh, man, that's a tough hate cut. But I understand it for a few weeks. I still think this is going to be the week he pans out for everybody there. Chris Jericho was a fucking legend, Frazier. Absolutely. Rudolph Hawk, Ferkser. I got to go Hawk. Hawk has just been so steady. Even though I love those Streamers tunes, Hawk's been just a monster all year. And a good matchup against the Bears. The Munchies. We all love the Munchies. PPR, Juju, Hines, Drake, or Debo. I'm going to go Drake versus Debo. Really tough here. I'm going to go Drake, though. I'm riding in myself, Mr. Munchies. Let's get that dub. You don't think the sage call will be to just keep Taylor on the bench for one more week? No, I'm riding it. I think you're going to put him on your bench, and it's going to be the best week he has all year, and you're going to be pissed at yourself. So give me Taylor in the lineups. You think when Kittle going to be back this season? So the rumors are he's optimistic that he's going to be a 6-week recovery, which would put him right at week 15. So give me that one. That's what I'm guessing. Against the Cowboys, great stash, by the way, for anybody out there. We have an article on the site. Check it out if you need any convincing to pick up Kittle. Crowder or Mike Williams? Ooh, Steven Hernandez. That's a tough one. I think I go Mike Williams for the blow-up, but that's tough. Really tough, Steven. And then Gallman or Booker? I'm going to go Booker for the sure receptions, all that good stuff, but it is tough for sure. North Shore all day. Craig Sarno, that's fucking right. You know it. Miles Sanders or Mostert for Garrett Woodworth? That's tough. I have Sanders higher in my rankings, but I will say I feel safer about Mostert. If you just want 80 yards and a TD, I think Mostert's a very good bet for that. But I think Sanders' ceiling is very high against the Packers. His floor is also a little bit lower, Garrett. I have Sanders in most cases, but if you want those sure points, you got to go Mostert. Red Zone finishes about 12:30 a.m. and working at 6 a.m., so you might be sleeping. Yeah, too bad. But you can always catch up the recap there. So I will chug a beer for you if Taylor lights it up. No doubt about it. We will chug. Yeah, he's going to do it. What'd you say, CJ?
It's a nice little English guy.
Yeah, there you go. UK. We've been hitting a bunch of different places. The Philippines, Panama. I wonder where Thomas is right now. Either way, Bug Squad. Pick one, Chark, Williams, or Gallman. I still think Gallman. I know, I get it, but I've just been so steady. I hope he doesn't crash out. This would be a crash out spot, but he's been so good. I'm going to keep riding him. Half PPR, Williams, DJ Chark, Wayne Gallman. I'm still going to stick with Wayne Amando there. Cup, Diggs, Jefferson, Debo, AJ Brown, start 4. So I got to bench one of these guys. It comes down to, I'm definitely starting Brown, Diggs, and Jefferson. So it comes down to Cup or Debo. I'd probably bench Debo out of those options. Pick a quarterback, Rivers or Matt Ryan. I'm going to go Matt Ryan. I feel good with Julio back today. Amando, need the win. Williams, Chark, or Gallman. I think you've already asked that one like 3 times now, Amando. And it's Wayne Gallman for me. Does anyone else feel dirty when you hear Gore's name right around Zeke and others? It's just not right. I do agree, Tunes. It's hideous and it's safe. It's hideous and it's gross and it's safe, which is crazy. Jeremiah Perkins. Thanks, guys. I won 8 strengths. Yeah. We got some people winning. Went from the basement to 3-way tie for first. That's the type of shit you love to hear. I fucking love it. Testimonials next week, Wolfpack, for sure. PPR, wide receiver 3, Mims, Lazard, Boyd. Thanks. I'm going to go Lazard. I feel great about him against the Eagles and that whole offense in general. Thomas McGinnis, James White, Kareem Hunt, or Bernard. Kareem Hunt all day out of those guys. Firster, somebody dropped fat guy Sly. Been waiting all season. Austin Firster is the world's biggest Joey Sly fan, and I fucking love it.
He's got the worst missed field goal like last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he always will miss like a 20-yarder and then boot like a 60-yarder. Yeah. I love him too. Roto, what's up, Mitchell James? Who you like, Kerryon Johnson, James White? I'll go James White there. And, I mean, obviously if Lev Bell was the starter tonight, he'd be the play, but you got to wait it out till tonight. I don't want to do that. Rank these guys, half PPR, Lazard, Chark, Beasley. I go Chark, then Lazard, then Beasley. But I like them all there, all good options. Happy Sunday, fellas. Kyler Murray, Taysom Hill. I'm going to go Kyler Murray, Kev. You can't bench a stud, even though that one we've gotten that one like 3 different times now. It's worth considering, but I'm going to just stick it out with Kyler here. Gaskin or Lockett for the flex. Oh, man, that's tough. Gaskin's easily the higher floor, but Lockett's ceiling is just so high each and every week. I think I'm going to go Gaskin, but, man, that's tough. Would you go Gaskin or Lockett, CJ?
I'm going Gaskin, I think.
Yeah, safe floor. Lockett could have that 40-point day, and apologies if he does, but he could also have 2. Gaskin's getting you 15. Like, you got a nice, steady 15 from Gaskin today. Leak, Sanders, Snell, Dobbins, Sanders, Gallman, pick 3. There's 2 Sanders in there. I can't figure that one out. Not going to try to. Down on the wire here. Sion, need a flex, fellas. Diggs, Jay Jefferson, D. Booker, and Herbert or Hill. I'm going to go one of the receivers, probably Diggs over Jefferson, but that's really, really close. Herbert or Hill, I'm just going to stick it with my boy Herbert here. I can't bench him. Firsker or Reed, full PPR. Firsker, however you say it. I'm going that guy for the Titans, no doubt about it. Love him. Snell, Drake, or Booker? Give me Drake. Booker's real close, but I'm going to go Drake myself. I'm riding him or dying him today. Lamar or Tannehill? I have Tannehill higher. I get it if you want Lamar against Dallas. Makes sense, but I'm going to go Tannehill personally. Gaskins or Akins? Give me Gaskin. Who's Akins? Jordan Akins?
Jordan Akins. Yeah.
No fucking way. I'm going Jordan Akins over Gaskin.
Oh, wait. Akers, maybe?
Maybe Akins. Either way, it's Gaskin. Like, Gaskin's the man. Gaskin's a great play today. Half PPR. Cousins, Lamar, or Tannehill. I still like Tannehill. I'm really into Tannehill today. But Lamar, I honestly understand if you want to go with your guy. Jefferson, Woods, or Thomas? I think you asked this one earlier, Sarah. I think it's Jefferson. Is my play here. Lamar Cousins. Lamar for me. We got Damian Harris, Snell, Sanders, Gallman, full PPR. Sanders for me. Hunt, Gaskin, Dobbins. Pick 1 for Taylor Malone. Give me Gaskin. Safest option of those guys. Arjun W. Ridley, definitely. Pick 3. Ridley, David Johnson, or Deontay Johnson. It's probably Deontay because it's 3 receivers here. I'm going to go Ridley, Deontay, and Pittman. Of those options. Need 2.5 PPR. Lockett, Hopkins, Keenan Allen. You're benching Hopkins, I think, in that one. That's one of the rare cases you can actually justify benching Hopkins. Harris, Gallman, Snell, full PPR. If you just need one, it's Harris for me. No, I like Gallman. Gallman the most, then Harris, then Snell. That's how I rank them. Jefferson or Lockett, I answered that one, Mitch, already, but I like Jefferson more unless you're trying to be different, and it's Lockett. Gaskins or James Robinson? It's definitely James Robinson. Always James Robinson, no doubt about it. Allen Robinson or Tyler Lockett? Allen Robinson. Love him this week. Elon Musk. Big fan of the show, Elon Musk here. Thanks, guys. Let's dominate. Absolutely, David. Elon Musk back for some more action here. You want to back us, Elon Musk? You want to be the RSJ to blow us up here? Best defense this week's got to be the Dolphins against Cincinnati. Absolutely. Kristen Crash. Thanks, guy. Austin told me to take Cephas. I mean, maybe he could go off. He could be that crazy guy that blows up out of nowhere, but we'll see. And you're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Rivers or Big Ben? I go Big Ben leak. Fant, Akins, or Hurst? Give me Hurst. Glitter Dude. Who the fuck are these people? Glitter Dude. Interesting name, Glitter Dude. Kenyon, Dobbins, Gallman, Hunter, David Johnson at running back. I'm going to go Kenyon Drake there out of these.
Look up with Seamus.
Yeah, exactly. I like Kenyon Drake and Hunt the most there. Probably Kenyon Drake. Low salary. Yeah. You get what you're saying on Hawkinson. Totally. That's where I'm leaning, but good options either way. Swamp Nola, Aguilar, Perriman, Snell. Perriman, Aguilar. I like Aguilar the most, actually. Let's go with him. Good luck to you, Craig, as well. Lamar or Matt Ryan? Give me Lamar, Taylor. Let's ride it here. Ride or die with your stud. Zeke, Gallman, Sanders, Snell, pick 2. I'm going to go Gallman. I'm going to go Sanders there. Glitter Dude's back for more. Jefferson, Deontay, Woods. I'm going to go Jefferson the highest, then Woods, then Deontay. Firkser, Reed. Give me Firkser. Kirk Cousins facing the 1-10 Jags. Herbert, going Herbert all day there. Deontay Johnson or Booker, half PPR. Very close, C-Mac. I personally go Deontay. Clyde or Murray, I go Clyde there. I meant Gesicki, not sure what the question was. Rank them: Henderson, Ballage, Gurley, Z Moss. That they all suck. I don't want anything to do with any of them. Gurley's the one I might start out of all those guys. Myers or Crowder? Give me Crowder in that one, Giuseppe. My man Todd, just asking for good vibes. Let's go to Johnny Taylor. Absolutely. Devonte Booker can totally get it too. Best of luck. Much love and best of luck, except for my opponent. He can suck an egg. Absolutely, Todd Roos. Go suck an egg, opponent. Michael Thomas or Thielen. Give me Thielen all day. Giuseppe, PPR, Crowder, Gio, or Gore. Give me Gore. Lamar or Taysom. I'm going Lamar. How do I give to you guys? We'll talk about giving testimonials and all that stuff next week. Sit layoffs. Let's get you into the playoffs, and then we earn it. Then we deserve it, and we'll talk about that next week. Akers or David Johnson. Standard. David Johnson. It's too much of a backfield mess. Fellas, you are amazing. I'm in the playoffs runs in 9 of 10. Love to hear it because of your advice. There you go. That's somebody that hopefully we can get a testimonial from you, Sion. So happy to hear it. Let's crush it and let's get 9 out of 10 titles too. That would be awesome. Harris or Zeke? I'm going Harris. I love his matchup. And good luck to you, Giuseppe. That's everybody. We got 2 minutes till kickoff. Wolfpack, thank you so much. We will be live later today, 7:30 recap show with everything, the studs, duds, waiver wire pickups, health, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in, Wolfpack. Best of luck today. Let us all win some money on DFS. Let us all win our lineups, get into the playoffs. Best of luck. CJ, any last words of encouragement for our peeps?
Nope. Oh, it's win or be killed.
Win or die.
Win or die.
Let's do or die, Wolfpack. Here we go. Best of luck. Get the W's. Lock it on in. Cheers, guys. We'll see you later for the recap show or tomorrow for the waiver wire show. Peace out.
See ya.